So I don't think I've filmed anything thus far with this going on, the snow and the ice, but I figured since I'm out here taking a little break from breaking up this ice, my pool is a freaking skating rink. And if I had faith that it wouldn't break while I was on it, I would actually skate on that, but I don't want to die. That's not cool. So I'm just breaking it up because it's actually warm. And when I say it's warm, it is 35 degrees out. So it's above freezing. But this appears to be the end of the snowpocalypse 2021 here in Texas. And I figured that since I hadn't taken really any video up until now, might as well, since this isn't probably going to happen again for, I don't know, like 10 years or so. So this has been my little buddy here for the last, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes as I break up this ice skating rink. And I started in the shallow end, and it's basically like ice cubes floating in the water now. And this is what I can do now. Let's see if I can show you. pushing the entire thing out of the deep end. It kind of comes back a little bit, but it's on its way to being water again. I don't know if you can hear the people on the other side of this fence here, but there's a nice little hill right there, and we actually sledded a couple days on that hill, and that was fun. But the pool freezing, not so much fun. Losing power 8 times on Wednesday, not so much fun. My mom being without power and water at her senior home, not fun. The pool equipment freezing, not fun. Hopefully there's no damage, but we had to drain all of the pump, the filter, all that freaking crap. We had to drain it. You can hear it melting right now. There you go. Documentation for the history books, my personal history books. If you saw these in the background and you're wondering what the frick are those, these are palm trees, which we covered in blankets to try not to kill them, to keep them alive. And hopefully it worked. I'm not sure. We'll find out soon when we take these blankets off. But we read on, I don't know if it was frickin' Reddit or good old YouTube, to keep palm trees alive in sub-zero weather, to wrap them in blankets. So I don't know, we'll see if these little guys are still alive, but hopefully they are. All right, guys, well, here we go. I'm back. Took a week off because of the snow, the poop storm that hit Texas here. I'm not even gonna try and act like I had it really bad. We had power most of the time. One of the days we lost power like 7 or 8 times. I don't know if it did any damage to our pool equipment, but I think that might be the worst. We picked up my mom because she lost power and water, but I know a lot of people had a lot worse than me, so my thoughts are with them. Hopefully they're back. We are thawing out right now. Everything's melting here now, so I'm doing great now. I've been looking at these damn Mcfarland figures for, I don't know, like 2 weeks now. I've been wanting to do this video for quite some time now, but here are, this is freaking ridiculous because it's almost March, guys. It's almost freaking March, but hey, this is the Cincy Awards night 3, and this is my top 5 favorite Mcfarland figures and my top 5 favorite Neca Figures. And the reason I use figures in quotations is because on the Neca side, you'll see what happens there. There's a few 2-packs, which I'm counting as one figure because you bought them together. There's really not a way to buy them individually unless you buy them like loose. But anyway, let's get to the Mcfarland figures first, because again, I've been staring at these damn things for like freaking 3 weeks. I do have an honorable mention for the Mcfarland figures. I do realize that these can lack articulation. A lot of people don't like the fact that they're, you know, not as articulated as a Marvel Legends figure. I like them for what they are. These things, the sculpts on these things are absolutely freaking phenomenal, considering these things are $20 figures. And when you look at the sculpts on these, just amazing work. Absolutely amazing work. Here's my honorable mention. This is Azrael from Batman White Knight. or Curse of the White Knight, whichever one it was. I think it was Curse of the White Knight. But this is an amazing looking figure. Again, not the best articulation. He does have double jointed knees. He has ankle articulation. I think those are single jointed elbows. Single jointed elbows. He's got the whole frickin' butterfly. What was he? I'm rusty. Well, what the frick is that called in the shoulder? Where he's got the articulation in the shoulder. Is that called butterfly joints? I don't know. Jeez Louise. I took a week off and I'm frickin' a noob at this. Anyway, I like this thing because look at the sword, the fire effect on the sword. The paint looks absolutely spot on. He's got this badass Azrael cape. If you can call it a cape, they're more like just friggin', I don't know, like Mr. Sinister cape things, whatever those things are called. It looks awesome. It looks absolutely awesome. It looks great on a shelf. Azrael, I love the comic book as well, The Curse of the White Knight, just absolutely awesome story. It's one of my favorite Batman stories in a long, long time, and I would definitely recommend it if you're into comic books. White Knight, Curse of the White Knight, check it out. Just an awesome story. But that's an honorable mention. Number 5 is a Build-A-Figure. Is this the first Build-A-Figure that McFarlane did? I don't know. I cannot think right now. I think this might be the first Build-A-Figure they did. I know the most recent one was the Bane from The Last Night on Earth. Is that what it's called? Batman The Last Night? Anyway, this is one of the first-ish ones that McFarlane did, and it is this one right here. And I can't think of its damn name. I'm just unprepared, unprofessional. It's this badass one that was basically the evil Batman Wonder Woman. What the hell's the name of this? Merciless? Something like that? I don't freaking recall. It's awesome. It's a Build-A-Figure. Lacks articulation. It kind of has a thigh cut, but it doesn't. Because in order to build it, you had to like jam these legs on at the thigh, but they made it jagged. Why didn't I not make it like round so you could actually turn the thigh? Anyway, it looks great. Great sculpt, great paint. Beautiful, like metallic looking blue, but just an awesome looking figure. Absolutely awesome. So that's number 5 is this one right here, which I don't remember the name of, and I'm probably gonna Google it afterward so that I can at least put it on the damn thing that flashes across the screen, so that I don't look like 100% of a frickin' moron, maybe just like, I don't know, 80% of a moron. Number 4, more bias here, this whole thing is bias. This one right here is especially biased because as a kid, I collected a lot of things. When I was a teenager, I used to go to a store in Fairfax, Virginia. Shout out if you're in Fairfax, Virginia, or if you ever went to the store in the, I guess, early 90s was when I was there, called Games Workshop. Games Workshop sold a lot of board games that you would play with little miniatures. I never actually played 40K, Warhammer 40K, but I collected the miniatures and I thought they were awesome. And I absolutely loved going to Games Workshop, buying some miniatures, taking them home, and just kind of getting into the mythology of orcs and frickin' space marines and 40K. And I just absolutely loved that whole franchise, I guess. But I never played the game. So I don't know why I never played the game, I just didn't. But I used to go to Games Workshop, buy these little space marines, and the fact that McFarlane did a damn space marine is freaking amazing. And I love this thing. Absolutely love this thing. I'm actually kind of surprised that I ranked it at 4. I think it should be higher, but I don't know. I really like the top 3. But this one right here, McFarlane Space Marine, 40K. Oh, Lord. Surprisingly good articulation in this thing. With the shoulder movement, the elbows, the legs kick out. I think, was it SH Figuarts did their version, or was it Mafex? There was one of the import companies that did their version of the Space Marines, and it obviously is more articulated than this one, but this one costs a whole hell of a lot less. I think that one was $100+, maybe $120, $150. This was 20 bucks, $20. So I'm definitely gonna go for any Warhammer 40K figures that McFarlane produces, and especially I'm looking for that gold label one with the red. I think that's gonna look fantastic next to this one in the collection. But there you go, number 4, Warhammer 40K Space Marine. All right, number 3, we do have a Superman figure. This is the Batman metal. I guess this is the infected Superman. And look at that face sculpt. Look at that. Absolutely amazing. The cape, how it has the rips in the cape. The articulation on this figure is great. The sculpt is great. The paint is great. The face sculpt just looks absolutely freaking insane. You can see that there. Just all around, just a badass figure. So infected Superman, all around, just awesome. So that is number 3. Moving on to number 2. So they did a few versions of this character. They did one in the black and red costume with different weapons. There was a mace, there was a sword, there was an axe. But the one that made my list is the one, I just think it looks amazing because it's different. And I like things that are different. But this one right here is the Blood Feud version of Spawn. So this is number 2 on my list. Favorite McFarland figures of 2020, Blood Feud Spawn. And this one just looks awesome. I love the alternate look for Spawn with, it's almost like a skin color. It's not like white, it's skin color. He's got the blood all over him. He's got the red highlights, just looks freaking awesome. He does come with the axe with the blood on it. But I really, really love this version of Spawn. If you purchased the other versions of Spawn and you didn't purchase this one, I would recommend this one. It really stands out, it really looks different, and it looks much different than the other Spawns in your collection. But I'm really looking forward to the Kickstarter Spawn. It's on its way right now. I got the classic version, just that one. You can get the classic, the modern, the black and white, the 3-pack. I got just the classic with McFarlane's autograph. So I'm really looking forward to that. This one will probably go on a shelf with it just to display. But I really love that Blood Feud Spawn. That was actually number 1 for a long time. But the more and more I looked at the sculpt on this number 1 favorite McFarland figure of 2020, the more I looked at this sculpt and the more I considered, good Lord, you're getting a lot for 20 bucks. I had to go with this one for number 1. And this one right here is the, I think he's called the Devastator. Again, I should have probably done my homework before I started this video, but I was just so damn excited to hit record and just start recording and do this video. I neglected, I think he's called Devastator, but he's basically like the Doomsday / Superman version of the evil Batman from the Dark Multiverse. But he's basically Doomsday. He does have, I guess, decent articulation. I mean, he's got articulation in his wrists, elbows, knees, ankles. It's single jointed, but he's a big, huge hunk of plastic, hunk of amazingly sculpted plastic for $20. $20 for this thing right here. In a lot of cases, you can actually find this at Walmart for like $15.88. So that makes it even better. Considering that a lot of figure prices are going up this year in 2021, I've heard ramblings of Marvel Legends going up to like $25, $27 when good old Toddy Mac is giving you this kind of quality for 20 bucks. So there you go. Number 1 favorite Todd McFarlane figure of 2020 was this big badass Devastator, evil Batman, Dark Multiverse figure. And there you go. That was my top 5 plus honorable mention McFarlane figures of 2020.
McFarlane. McFarlane seems to be going from strength to strength with their line. And for me, it's a guy that came in late in the year in December. The Red Hood. This is the Red Hood from the 2-pack with Nightwing. This guy's spot on. From the gloss on the helmet to the guns. I love this figure. This is easily, for me, the standout. I thought it was going to be Azrael. But then this guy came out late in the year. So for me, McFarlane figure of the year, Red Hood.
Next from McFarlane is this one for me, the Golden Armor Wonder Woman. I think this suit like had 5 minutes or less of airtime in the new movie, but yeah, I really love the design on this, and yeah, it has such presence as well. when displayed along with other figures. I think maybe because of the color, but yeah, look at that. I love this.
All right, guys, Neca Figures. So unlike any other top 5 list that I made this year, this one was pretty much easy to make, just because there were some absolute freaking standouts by Neca in 2020. And I would say, let's see, 1, 2, 3 of these are 2-packs. I do have an honorable mention though, and this one right here probably would have made the top 5 list, but it came out very, very, very late in 2020. So I don't know if I had enough time to really appreciate it to make it part of the top 5. That's why it's honorable mention. But this one right here is the Android Body Krang. Again, honorable mention, didn't quite crack the top 5, but just a absolute badass freaking figure. Just awesome. Looks like it stepped right out of the damn cartoon. This one did have a couple drawbacks. The fact that he's really hard to stand up, and I actually have to use this, like, I kind of altered a Mafex stand and made a little crotch grabber for him so he doesn't fall over all the time. He's kind of hard to stand. He's very top heavy. And then also, a lot of people, when they were trying to take off the upper torso to put this little alien Krang in there, broke the plastic, because the plastic here is kind of a little thin and slightly brittle. But mine did not break. He's in great shape. He looks great. But again, honorable mention, Krang Android Body. Moving on to the top 5. Number 5 is a 2-pack. It is a Turtles 2-pack, and it is a cartoon Turtles 2-pack, Baxter, Stockman, and Splinter. This is the best Splinter I have ever owned in my entire collection, and I have the Super 7 version, but this one right here is just absolutely amazing. I mean, that is cartoon Splinter right there. It does not get any better than that. The soft goods look great, the paint looks 100% spot on, great accessories, just an awesome figure. I absolutely love that figure. And look at this Baxter. Best Baxter I've ever owned. And I just ordered the Super 7, but this one right here, I mean, proportions perfect, the paint perfect, the sculpt perfect. It's the perfect Baxter Stockman. So number 5, Splinter and Baxter. I gushed a lot about these two figures, so the fact that they're number 5, my top 4 better be pretty damn good. Let's move on to number 4. Number 4 is another 2-pack. This was probably one of my most anticipated figures going into 2020. I knew this was coming out. I was really, really damn excited. I was really worried that I was gonna have a hard time tracking it down. Raph in disguise in the trench coat, and right there, Casey Jones. In the 1990 movie, Casey Jones was probably one of my favorite characters in the movie. I also liked Raph and Mikey, but Casey Jones, he was just the man. I really, really liked his character in the movie, and I was really, really looking forward to this figure coming out. Comes with a ton of accessories, hockey stick, golf club. I think that's a cricket bat in there. He's got baseball bats, just loaded with accessories. I just absolutely love this figure. And then this is just gravy, because this trench coat is perfect. I already have a Raph, but I really liked the scenes where he was wearing the trench coat and just kind of sneaking around New York City. But very, very awesome. Great looking Raph. And this soft goods is just perfect. So this is number 4 in my top 5 favorite NECAs of 2020. Casey Jones and Raph from the Ninja Turtles movie. Number 3 is, as I look at all of these, the only non-Ninja Turtles figure by NECA that made this list. There was a lot of great figures by NECA, a lot of non-Ninja Turtles figures made by NECA in 2020, which were fantastic. I have been waiting for figures of this property since 1985, but this one right here, Marty McFly, Back to the Future, number 3 favorite NECA figure of 2020. Comes with the skateboard, comes with the camcorder, comes with the frickin' orange vest that looks like a frickin' life jacket on a cruise ship. I'm not gonna cut that out. No damage to the figure. He did drop his camcorder, but yeah, I'm gonna keep that in. Marty McFly, there you go. No longer headless, Marty McFly. Michael J. Fox, Back to the Future. That leaves us with number 2 and number 1. And this was an easy decision to make. Number 2, Ninja Turtles 2. And we're talking about Super Shredder. Super Shredder is number 2 on my list. Check out the sculpt and paint on this figure. Amazing. Absolutely amazing job by Neca to recreate the Super Shredder. This is a figure I never, ever thought I would see, but this thing looks fantastic. There's not much more I can say about this figure other than the fact that it looks badass. The sculpt is just insane. The paint is spot on. Accessories great. And it just has so much damn shelf presence. But Super Shredder, second favorite Neca figure of 2020. That leaves us with number 1. Number 1 is probably the favorite figure or figures, because it is a 2-pack, of a lot of people that did their top favorite Neca figures of 2020. These are perfect. Absolutely perfect. Tokka and Rahzar, Ninja Turtles 2, Neca Figures. They're huge. It's a ton of plastic. The sculpt is crazy, just absolutely crazy. Look at the spikes on his shell, movable jaws, bunch of accessories, amazing sculpt, amazing paint. Neca has set the bar so freaking high with this 2-pack right here. Tokka and Rahzar, again, it was a lot of people's number 1 of the year when it comes to Neca, and I'm no different. It was my number 1.
Neca. For me, this was a bit of a harder one. Really enjoyed the Tokka and Rahzar, but they didn't come in until just after the new year, so couldn't count them. So it's got to be the Casey Jones. This figure's amazing. Love all the accessories, the posability on this guy. Brilliant line from Neca, the Turtles. So easily my Neca figure of the year.
Now from Neca, this figure actually came from a 2-pack. Technically, they're probably a single release, so I'm gonna be picking these 2. The trenchcoat Raphael and Casey Jones. The details on this are just amazing. Look at that, and it has mixed media. The clothes are actually, yeah, fabric. Decent articulation, and yeah, overall pretty amazing figures.
Hey everyone, it's Daniel Chadwick Boswell, and I would like to talk about my number 1 pick for 2020 in the category of Neca figures. They had so many good figures come out, and it was tough because I have quite a few of them. A lot of the Turtles and some of the movie figures, and there's just so many incredible ones. But when I really thought about it, when I really looked over everything I had in my collection, I had to pick this guy right here, Slash, from the Turtles in Time arcade figures. I mean, everything about this guy is just spot on. It's just fun. It's unique. It's not you know, basically kind of like the Turtles. They're basically like the cartoon Turtles, but with the new deco and a few extra accessories. Even like Leatherhead and some others, they're also like a toon version, are basically the same. But this guy is a different sculpt. I mean, some parts, you know, from the turtle bodies being used, but the shell, I love that shell. I love the little jaggedy sword. I love his crazy expression on his face and them teeth, and just everything about this figure is just spot on. And it was a tough call, but really this was the figure that got me into collecting Neca this past year in 2020. When they announced the arcade ones, I was like, I'm on board. So this is my number one pick for the NECA category. And thanks Cincy for allowing us the opportunity to share.
But there you go, guys. My top 5 favorite McFarland figures, my top 5 favorite NECA figures. That leaves us with one more top 5 list. That's night 4 of the Cincy Awards, which I will be filming here either tonight or tomorrow. So it'll be coming to you soon. But that is my top 5 favorite Hot Toys of 2020 and my top 5 favorite imports or high-end figures of 2020 as well. So that'll be the final video. But this was this one. We're doing great here in Texas. We survived Snowpocalypse 2021. Hopefully my other fellow Texans that are watching this video are doing well as well. Hopefully it didn't incur a whole lot of damage. Hopefully you made it through okay. No injuries, nothing like that. But thanks for watching. So I'm back at it, doing videos. I'm excited. I'm gonna shoot more videos. I have a toy haul, which I'm gonna do. I might do that live. I'm not sure. You might have already seen that. I'm gonna shoot some videos for the second channel. If you haven't subscribed to the second channel, Cincy 2, I have a jersey haul, hockey jersey haul, which I'm looking forward to filming, so that's coming. And I also have an unboxing video, some football cards, some Contenders football cards, 4 hanger boxes. Check that out, Cincy 2, youtube.com/Cincy2, check it out. But don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching this one, and I will see you guys in the next video. Adios.